Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read-through for Kubera, Season 3, Episodes 20 through probably 22, but who knows if we'll do more. Probably we'll stop at 22. We're starting Devastation, I think this is called, which is pretty extreme. I've really loved Season 3 so far, just so much about the characters and their interactions, and while I've always loved the characters, one thing I think I can really praise Season 3 for, and that I have been praising Season 3 for, is the use of the side characters, of course, and side characters that we had around but didn't do much with. And I was thinking about it more in the past, maybe a little less than a week since I recorded the last video. I was thinking, like, we've seen this with plenty of time skips before. There are a lot of times where you go through a time skip and you get introduced to the same characters you had, or you get introduced to a bunch of new characters to tell the early story of the time skip, and then you start bringing in the previous characters back. I think that's a very common way to do things. There's usually a lot of new characters, and then you slowly add back in some of your older characters, even if some of your older characters are there from the beginning. Like taking all of Tower of Gods time skips for instance. But like with the between Season 1 and Season 2 time skip, where you come back and you still have Bomb, but he's not necessarily Bomb anymore, and you have a bunch of new characters, and then we slowly start to bring in the stories and plot lines of these older characters. I just think that this is such a good way to do things that I haven't necessarily seen done before, where we are taking the time skip, and we got a little bit from characters that were main important characters before, but instead of bringing in all new characters and then adding in plot lines from your main characters, we are telling this through characters that we've had around. We have connections to them. We have, ideas of who they are and what they've done. It's not like we got none of Hura, Cloche, and Clove. It's not like we got no Par and Elwyn, but to take them from stories that weren't in the spotlight to being in the spotlight, I think has been very, very good. And also, when we were in Calibloom before, it's like, so the Teo and Gandharva plotline was really, really important, super important, but it was kind of the B plot to Lee's and Asha and Ron and Yuta's A plot. So to take them from being the B plot to this is what we're focusing on for a long time as the A plot. Really good stuff. So I have completely loved all of that. And also, when I said we'd probably only be doing 3 chapters has been around, like, me personally, I don't want to read less than 3 for a video at a time, and 3 has been around an hour, so I'm going to be doing at least 3 per video. But if for some reason they're kind of on the shorter side, or I can read more, I will, I'm open to doing more. It's just at least 3. And for this week in particular, I don't know how much time I'll have to edit and prepare videos and stuff, so I'm recording this a little bit ahead of time. But if it only takes me 40-ish minutes to read these 3, this week in particular, unless I really can't stop myself, even if 3 only takes 40-ish minutes, I'll probably stop there. But we do the chapter, we do the blog post, and there's always just so much to talk about, because Kubera chapters, occasionally we might get a short chapter, occasionally, but the chapters themselves are usually probably a good solid 8 to 10 minutes at least, if not sometimes much longer when Kurigam throws a really long one out there. And then on top of that, there's always a lot to discuss when it comes to Kubera. It's really, really detailed and has a lot of characters and plot points and connections to older things going on that, a lot of other series just don't have at Kubera's level. So either way, with all of that aside, let's, I guess, start with chapter 20, and then again, as we continue, we'll do the blog post and talk about everything. So we're starting off with, you can change Gandharva. If you don't understand, you can learn. If learning's difficult, you can take your time. Okay, and we're seeing how it was Manaka, right? Manaka had supposedly changed him. And I like it a lot because it's something that we were hit with toward the end of last read through, that as readers, we have seen who Gandharva is now, but we're dealing with characters. In fact, I feel like most of our characters are just super, super old. Some of them, like the Gnostica and gods, being unfathomably old. So what does it mean for somebody like that to change? And the things that Guntarva did were extremely, extremely bad. Like genociding entire planets and taking away their afterlife's kind of bad. So what does it mean for somebody who did something that horribly bad to change? Because again, for somebody who lives that old, you could change, and then 100,000 years later, it's like, that was 100,000 years ago. That was forever ago since I did anything like that. It's so complex. What does this mean for characters who are this old? And not only what does it mean, but how would you prove it? Like, how would somebody like Guntarva ever prove that they had changed as a person to somebody like Chandra? So, no need to hurry. Let's go slowly, but surely. Even if it makes you suffer to realize and regret what you've done. Don't deny your past. Don't return to it either. It'll be a difficult process, but at the end of it, you will have time, a future, happiness, that I cannot have. Time, what do you mean? We're Gnostikas. Our time is infinite. And she looks on. All of it was lies, Minaka. You were fooled. You should not have believed those words and come to me. There was no need to trade your time for this pitiful reality. Okay, so we're going to get into more backstory for Minaka then, eventually, with whatever it was that she had heard and why she made her moves, and what she did to trade her time for this reality. I haven't changed as much as you wished. I'm still a fool, and now I can't even choose the path I should take. I can't return to the Shura realm in this weakened state, nor can I stay in the human realm with my unforgivable past. If I'd chosen a side sooner, would things have been different? I was only a tyrant who used my superior strength to trample on the weak. Without my powers, I'm nothing but filth, and I'm not welcome anywhere. Yeah, we were dealing with this some after Calibloom the last time with Guntarva, where everywhere he goes, things don't work out. And last time it was kind of Marina's fault, but, also it's just him thinking, every time I'm close to happiness, it gets taken away. Am I just not meant to have happiness? And with all the things that I've done, there's no place for me among people who know what I've done and care. So the gods and humans aren't going to care for me at large. And as far as Shuras go, he said himself that he thinks the Shura realm is cooked, essentially, when he was talking to Marina. Then we have our title splash, Devastation Part 1. Hey, what's happening? The inside of the Chaos Barrier just turned black. I can't see Calibloom at all. That's weird. The lights were shining just a second ago. Maybe their lighting system's down? If the lighting's gone down, the safeguards in the Chaos Forest might be down as well. We should probably find a village and rest there tonight. And of course, we're establishing the guy holding the torch because Agni's going to show up from the fire. I'm assuming, yes. What the? This is the closest fire to Calibloom? Damn it, Chandra got there first. That's why it's all dark, because Chandra used the darkness to buy more time with Guntarva before Agni shows up, because Chandra said before traveling, I need to make it there before Agni because we disagree on these things. So Chandra wants to do it his own way and buy as much time before Agni can get there as possible. Damn it, Chandra got there first to stop me from getting there quickly. The Temple of Chaos. It's not just the city. The fires inside the temple have gone out as well, and they won't relight. That's okay. Chandra must have arrived. Would he have would he have a reason for putting out the fires? Well, I don't know, but maybe he needs it to be dark since he's the god of darkness. Agni will need a fire to get here faster. It can't be that Chandra doesn't want Agni to arrive. No, that doesn't make any sense. There won't be much damage to the city, right? Chandra will make sure of it? He will. And attack transcendentals are disrupted inside the Chaos Barrier anyway. Plus, we have a priest candidate now, unlike before. Clory, is Kaz training? No, he finished a while ago. He's in the garden now. Lise was nagging him. Okay, what? So Lise was here? If so, this is a cool reveal that we saw what she was doing and then we cut to all of this so we thought she wasn't here. It would be insane if, you know, he was here all along. Unless he named the green cat Lise. And that's who they're talking about. Hey, Lise, you can't do that. Oh my god, was I immediately did the thing. Hey, Lise, you can't do that against the temple wall. And then, peeing sound effect. At times like this, I feel kinda guilty for giving you Lisa's name. Even if you take me along, Teo will never tell you. Hmm? Huh? Elwyn, what are you doing up here at this hour? And who's the half next to you? And also, interesting that we're bringing Kaz back in as such an important character to be priest candidate now. He's a visitor who's come to see Teo. If you ask for help, the human dies. Don't waste time. Take me to the priestess. The lives of all these people hinge on you. If you make me late and things go wrong, none of the people you know will escape alive. So of course he probably wants to kill her to allow attack transcendentals, I'd assume. I get it. And we're back to Gantarva. They didn't call you the best shield in the Shura realm for nothing. Even weakened, you take blows surprisingly well. His transcendental value was pretty much that of a 4th stage Rakshasa, so I thought, did I underestimate him? If I'd known that he could still withstand all of that, I would have combined attacks with Agni to make sure. But, judging by Agni's reaction last time, I can't trust him. He's wasted too many good opportunities already. Who knows what he'll do to get in the way this time. Why are you so quiet? I thought you'd have something to say to defend yourself. That's true. From Agni's perspective, killing a Gnostica, even somebody who's done as much bad as Gantarva has, is such a huge thing. Because, like I said, it's hard to prove that they've changed, but if a Gnostica were to change and to do good, be good, whatever, that would be massive. That would be such a huge thing, and if you kill them, you don't get that. Because though they have infinite lifespan, their deaths are permanent. So to kill Gantarva is a decision that you can't come back from. Then, I suppose you don't have any excuses left. And we're inside the Chaos Barrier. This could take a long time. But if I take any longer, Agni will arrive. I have no choice. I'll have to deal with the consequences. And we have the fire showing up. All this effort by yourself? Did you think I'd be in the way, Chandra? To be continued. What a great chapter. Between the reintroduction of Kaz in this way, the discussion of the people wondering what's going to go on with the gods and everything, Elwyn and Marina a little bit more, just to pace out things so that we're not stuck in the same scene for the entire thing, and it paces it out so that we can assume, this fighting went on off screen, this fighting went on off screen. It makes the clash seem bigger by cutting us in and out of it. And again, the character stuff for Chandra, Agni, and Gantarva is really, really good. So, really great chapter. Like, we started off, and pretty much all of Season 3, I think, has been great so far. I think the very first few chapters, it's like, okay, you're kind of getting back into it, kind of getting reintroduced, but as we started, doing real character development and plotline stuff pretty early on, it's been incredibly good. So, with that aside, I actually need to switch over to the other screen. Let's go over to the blog post. Okay, on the other screen now we have the explosive chapters from the beginning of part 3 will continue starting with the collapse. What exactly will be collapsing in this chapter? And we have the link. The fact that he exchanged his own time with Gantarva's time is, then many people think that Manaka's very weak, but she's not. Since Manaka and Gantarva are powerful Gnostikas, it's said that Shakuntala, born from their union, is abnormally weak. Then you're saying this isn't an offensive transcendental skill? The transcendent skill Sagara used to defeat Lee's in Part 2 Sword Trial chapter was also a self-transforming skill, and such skills activate normally within the Chaos Barrier. An offensive transcendental skill that's hindered by the Chaos Barrier is something like the ones Marina uses where beams of light shoot out and explosions occur. Then two people who look like they've been seen somewhere. Are these the... Wait, hold on. Are these the thieves from when they stole the Golden Knight back in Season 1? Is this the thief pair? Do you remember? I only wrote Kaz in the author's note, but actually these two were appearing for the first time in a while. Then, clothing for a person sensitive to the cold at 9,050 meters. That two-tailed creature feels like it's grown a lot bigger compared to Part 1. They said it had a big appetite, and now it's too big to carry on one's head. So yeah, time skip cat. I was just thinking it was the, angle, the shot composition and all, but it's actually big now then. It's a full-on Pokemon. And now it's too big to carry on one's head. If you tried to put it on like in Part 1, his neck might break. Then Empathy 381. Okay, really fun chapter. That was super good. That was so good. And with that aside, we still get to read 2 more, so let's go check out Devastation Part 2. Okay, on to episode 21. I actually wonder if the official translation's Devastation or the auto-translates Collapse is more right or well known. That's always been your problem. You're smart, and usually you end up being right, so you don't even consider the possibility that you might be wrong. I should have known when you said Vishnu was just a mad god. You're the one who's wrong. Sparing that hopeless bastard every time isn't generosity, it's just stupidity. Who said I was going to spare him? The reason I rushed here wasn't to save him, it was to save you, Chandra. And then Devastation Part 2. I thought it might be over before I arrived. At least that's not the case. If this one had been even what he was 7 years ago in Calibloom, you'd be twiddling your thumbs in hell by now, Chandra. That's where you're wrong. I don't care how strong he was 7 years ago. He's not now. I can take care of him by myself. Inside the barrier of chaos, with your hand-to-hand combat skills, it wasn't working, so you're going to resort to breaking the rules of the barrier, weren't you? You're right. This one doesn't yet understand the gravity of taking human lives. If he had genuinely repented his ways thanks to Manaka, he would never have done what he did. But his most recent transgression was not because he took pleasure in killing. I believe Manaka's changed that part of him at least. So what, you want to hear his reasons? You're wasting your time. I asked him over and over again and he hasn't opened his mouth once. Did you deal with the Garuda Rakshasa? He was the one who was reported in the first place. Don't tell me you let him go because you were too caught up trying to kill Gantarva. I thought it might be that. Now that you've remembered, go and look for him. It'll be faster to use insight on the Rakshasa rather than trying to get this one to talk. You can't let him go, just because I'm not here. I won't. He isn't going free. I'm not having him take any more lives. And Chandra agrees and leaves. It's so tiring pretending to be serious. I'm heating up. As I said, you're not off the hook. This is your last chance, even if you insist on remaining silent even now. Or this is your last chance if you insist on remaining silent even now. I'm going to assume that you went back to being a bloodthirsty lunatic after Manaka died and treat you in the manner you deserve. I left behind a very important moment to come here for you. Don't disappoint me. And we have Brilith left behind. What are you doing, Brilith? Ah, it's your mom. Only your back, but it's still a great photo. Is this the only photo taken of her and Talith? I can't remember another one where they're together. And we see the two of them. Is she still not seeing her husband? Isn't it extreme? It's like she's married to the god instead. Do you think the god told her not to see her husband? To focus on him since she's his priestess? Say it can't be. She's still a married woman, isn't she? What does it matter? Marriages only last as long as you're alive. I suppose mortal marriages or not, the gods are there in the afterlife. It's too bad for her husband and daughter. And we have something that was heard by Brilith even as a child. Natasha, would you like to take this photo? Huh? What do you mean? It's your parents. You might not find another photo with them together. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to see it anymore. Is she now because she couldn't receive an answer from Agni? Is she thinking that maybe there is some truth to it now? And maybe even thinking that he only likes her mother or was only treating her in a special certain way because of her mother, because he wouldn't give her an answer? I don't want to see it anymore. I suppose she might feel that way since they're both deceased. Okay, I'll keep it in my house. Then tell me if you change your mind. Don't worry, I won't. And I have a favor to ask. Would you help me? Sure. Was I imagining things? Something just gave me chills. Whoa, that was scary. I knew Agni uses fires for transport, but to actually see it right in front of me. We must have been of some help to him, right? Do you think he'll give us something when we see him in the afterlife? We gave up stealing ages ago, and we've been pretty good recently. The lights have come on in Calibloom. Maybe Agni came here to put the lights back on. Hang on, what's that? There's something above Calibloom. And we're going to be interrupted by sky tearing, and I wonder if this is going to be Cossack and Lee's coming out of the portal, and that would just throw them right in front of all of this conflict that's going on with everyone. With those two, they're the only two that remember Asha, right? Just Cossack because he wasn't around, and Lee's because she's the main character. Like, they're the only two that remember Asha, and like everybody's memories being messed with. And the fact that I guess whenever Asha comes back, that probably means that Sakura comes back, potentially Ananta comes back, but because of what Asha did, potentially, I don't remember how the results might end up, but Asha might come back with Ananta's powers, so Anancha might be a problem. I'm not 100% sure with how we ended, how it'll actually end up. But we do have the portal opening, which is going to throw a wrench into things, and it seems like maybe, potentially, could we ever get the gods, humans, and Shuras putting their differences aside to deal with the Taraka, which is, again, basically just the flood. And if so, then would that have maybe even potentially been Kali's plan all along? Either the universe is destroyed, or all of the plots to make, the universe in threat of destruction were all to try to bring everyone together as someone who was both God and Shura. That might be a bit too much. That might be a bit too lofty, a bit too cheesy. But again, could it have been potentially the plan? That she was trying to destroy the universe in order to bring everyone together to stop her? Might be a bit much. But either way, with that aside, it was a really great chapter again, really amazing, and we get to keep going, so let's go check out the afterword. The blog post starts with the link this time. We have, I'm Bubble Kim, a Gantarva expert. Agni's probably the one who's fought Gantarva the most in this universe, including both gods and Shuras. He knows almost everything about Gantarva's transcendental skills. If Agni were to publish a guide on Gantarva, it would become a bestseller in the Divine Realm. However, if he were to seriously pick up a pen to write a book, he would turn into a total idiot. Conversely, Gantarva has many things he doesn't know about Agni's transcendental skills. This is because Gantarva never felt the need to memorize Agni's transcendental skills. You know how you usually take notes to strategize when playing a difficult game, but just play wildly when playing an easy one? It's exactly that difference. Gantarva probably never imagined the day would come when he'd be this weak. Then where am I? Looking at the ground, it doesn't seem like the place where Chandra and Gantarva first met, does it? Because it was flat. And now we have Pure Blood Couple. While there are many couples of different races in my comics, there are also many couples of the same race. They are so ordinary that I don't bother emphasizing their race. They simply exist, almost imperceptibly. Imperceptibly. Sorry, I keep mispronouncing. In most cases, the parents of a pureblood wizard are both purebloods. Oh, Asha's mother is a quarterblood, only her father is pureblood. Now we have, this seat is my seat. Okay? If you worry about Kubera, you lose. I guess, true, that counts as the Kurigam. The pendant or pin for her clothes. If we were looking for Kurigams, that would be one. Okay, well, with that aside, really fun chapter. I enjoyed it a lot, and we'll go on to episode 22, and like I said, with this week being the way it is, I think I will end at 22 no matter what. Even though I kind of course, want to read more, I will probably end at 22. So either way, let's at least go read that, and we'll see what it looks like. Episode 22 is starting back off with the questioning of Gantarva. Answer me. Your action 7 years ago. What was your purpose, and who was behind the plan? And why are you here now? My purpose and who was behind the plan? Yes, everything. I was looking for my daughter. You've said that before. What does your daughter have to do with attacking the city? That's... To find my daughter, I needed to do what they... They? I wonder if Miss Riche is alive. I liked her, so I told her to run away from the city. She might not have believed me, because, she might not have believed me. She might have died because I took Shura form. What are you talking about? Who's Miss Riche? A human I saw in Calibloom 7 years ago. When I asked her name, she hesitated and then answered, Riche. So, what does that have to do with looking for your daughter? Alright, this isn't relevant. Okay, I'm glad they gave us the flashback here, because I was forgetting that it was Lee's using a fake name. Okay. And interesting, the interactions Lee's has had with both of them throughout the course of seasons 1 and 2 with how things have ended up and all. Interesting. But I wonder how things are going to go. Like, the topic got changed. Does he really properly remember Sagara and the events surrounding things? I guess he would, because Huda and the others remember Sagara, yeah? So he would remember Sagara and that she disappeared, right? But wouldn't remember... That is actually a good question. What all does everyone remember? Because of course Saha was killed, but like now that he's gone, what does everybody think? Like, what does everybody think happened to Saha? I didn't think about that. We probably got an answer at the very, very end of season 2. Because since they don't remember Asha, do they, like, obviously there's the evidence of the massive attack and the development that people went through at the end, but what all do they or don't they remember? Like, what all counts as being affected by Asha's spell? Because people didn't remember Asha, but then if they don't remember Asha, what do they think happened to Sagara? What do they think ended this whole fight, this whole attack? And if some of them remember Sagara, what do they think happened to Sagara? So, yeah, actually, what does or doesn't count, I wonder, as what you would or wouldn't remember? Like, what are the rules necessarily for what you do or don't remember? Huh. So what is it? Because I was thinking he wouldn't remember Sagara, but he should. But he wouldn't know their plan, because wouldn't that be part of what gets taken out by your memories if you even knew it? Huh. I wonder. What does that have to do with looking for your daughter? Alright, this isn't relevant. So I needed to do what they asked me to. I wonder if the curry mushroom girl, Miss Koopa Turgent, is still alive. And he's getting pissed. You really have lost it, Gantarva. To think I went so far to give this lunatic a chance. and they both react to the rift opening in the sky. But maybe is it that whenever he's trying to think of Sagara and what Sagara's plan was, it's drawing his mind away to Lee's? Because of, I guess, maybe the effect of the spell plus the power of the name? Weird. We have Devastation Part 3. And then the Eloth Magic Guild. Aren't you coming? Again, as much as I love how we cut around and see all these different characters and different scenes and stuff, I was so excited to see what would happen, and how we're going to Eloth Magic Guild. Aren't you coming? The ship to Calibloom's leaving. Why are you dawdling, both of you? You're not planning to use me as your teleport magician for this as well, are you? No reason why not. You liked being asked, didn't you? You said it was a chance to hold Lutz's arm. I didn't. What are you talking about? I'm older now. I don't care about looks anymore. I don't. Really? You don't care? And so we're back to Tilda, Lutz, and I don't know. It's not Mirha. Yeah, what were her eyes pink? I can't remember. Or her hair pink? I can't remember the hair and eye color combo for Mirha now that I think about it. Or is this Roosh? Not 100%. Because at first I was thinking Mirha, but I think her hair is pink. But I might be wrong on that. At first I was thinking Mirha just because she is like the wind priestess, right? Or was. But it might be Roosh. I'm not sure, because I'm so used to every panel of Roosh I can think of in my head is like more chibi, you know? It's not the 4K season 3 artwork. So if it is her, I would not recognize her in this much detail. So, I didn't. What are you talking about? I'm older now. I don't care about looks anymore. I don't. Really? You don't care? You've grown up, Roosh Seiran. And does she have... I was going to say the subconscious feelings for Asha have led to her fashion choice here, but does she have feelings now toward Lutz because Asha's not around in her memories anymore? Really? You don't care? You've grown up, Roosh Seiran. Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to take the ship. Lutz and I aren't going to Calibloom. What? Are you crazy? Chandra gave us orders. We sent our reasons for not going in an official letter to Rintalo. If Chandra is in his temple, he'll be reading it right now. What? What reasons? Should I stay here as well? Well, it's because it might be dangerous. If Tilda and I are both there, it's because it might be dangerous if Tilda and I are both there. But Roosh, you're weak, so it won't make a difference. Shut it, both of you. Okay, so they didn't want to leave the city unguarded, I guess. How dare you? Is this allowed? I'm the guild president here. Yes, our apologies. Don't be mad, President. And I wonder, again, now that Saha was taken out at the end of the season, is this now just a third temple, a third element that is priestless? Or who would have been the replacement for Saha? I don't think we necessarily know that yet. Yes, our apologies. Don't be mad, President. Don't laugh. Hey, you, don't laugh with that face of yours. To be more precise, it's to do with a transcendental value. I analyzed the locations where fragments were collected. It looks like the Taraka clan seek out prey who have high transcendental values. Calibloom, where the barrier's weak, and there's the Temple of Chaos to boot. If all of us with high transcendental values gather there, including Chandra, it might be that something very dangerous will happen. Okay, so they were trying to avoid this. It's not dangerous in that they didn't want to leave Eloth alone. It's dangerous in that if they all showed up, it might call in the Taraka. But both gods showed up, plus all of the other people who actually did listen to the summons, and all the people that are already there that are strong, plus Marna and Kantarva. And we see the Taraka start spilling out. So if so, this probably isn't going to be Lee's and Cossack, unless, just really convenient circumstance. Gods, what's that? Just when we happen to be out here. We need to get inside the barrier of Earth. Come on, run for the checkpoint. It looks similar. A passage to the Shura realm, but it's huge. How can a gate that big appear? What's that? Did you bring them here to destroy the city? If I take advantage of this situation, it might be easier than I thought to get the priestess to talk. This is fortunate. Right. It's not just to kill her and take down the barrier so that they can use attack transcendentals. He needed information about the item. What, Elwyn? Why are you here? And we have Par with some others. How did he... I thought Chandra would have caught him. And Teo appears. They lock eyes. He grabs Elwyn. Tell the priestess. She needs to tell me how to use the pledge token right now. It's no use, even if you take me as hostage. The city comes first for Teo. I might be important to her, but she would never do anything to put the city in danger. If she tells you how to use the item, I have no business with the city. If I develop, I don't need to harm the people here. But if I don't develop, everyone here will end up dead. Interesting. We do know that he doesn't want to kill halves. I mean, I think he obviously will, much like he'll kill, lesser ranked Shura. But he doesn't seem to like killing halves. He tries to avoid it. Even with Shura, he'll kill to devour the weaker ones, but I think that's more just because he needs to as a Shura. But like with his speech to Gintarva, I wouldn't give up on my people, the Shura, unlike you. He seems to, and again, maybe it has to do with more the Garuda than other Shura, but maybe even just Shura in general. And he sees halves as half Shura. He feels a loyalty to his people to a certain degree. And he cares more about developing to help them than to hurt people in this city. Whether or not people in this city are hurt probably just don't even factor in for Marina. Look at that sky. Don't you get what's going on? And it's a red sky, but not by, again, making the portals red is interesting because it's a red sky, but not by his doing. A red sky, but now one that even he would have a reason to be afraid of. Then, if we tell you how to use the item, you're going to stop those Shuras for us. Yes. To be continued. Really good chapter. That was tense. I love the way that it was paced out, where we start off with this interesting stuff between Gintarva and Agni that makes me wonder what counts, what people will or won't remember. I like that. And then we cut over to Eloth. We get to see these characters that we haven't really seen much of yet in Season 3, but use them to hype up how this is happening, why this is happening, it's a disaster and all. And then the tension here with Marina and Elwyn and their negotiations. And I like that Elwyn is basically the one negotiating. And to do so right in front of Teo, who could be a loose cannon right now. All of that was really, really, really well done. All of that was really good. And I really want to continue reading, but of course, I don't think I should, as much as I want to. So I'll end here after the Afterword, but let's go read the Afterword first. So the Afterword this time starts with the link again, and then sour face. I went to the trouble of giving him a chance, but Gintarva's just spouting nonsense. You asked why I didn't know, asking if I had never seen Agni, a god unable to speak via Hoti Vishnu like that before. But Hoti Vishnu was a perfectly normal form of magic until the Great Cataclysm. The disappearance of existence or similar issues are only happening to Asha, who uses Hoti Vishnu after the Great Cataclysm, because there's currently a problem with Vishnu. If you watch Part 2, Episode 10 again, you'll understand. Okay, I'll have to go back and reread that. But, so yeah, before, when people used Hoti Vishnu, it didn't mess with people's memories. Messing with people's memories is only an Asha thing. And now, this guild leader is the most disregarded in the history of the Eloth magic guild. I was wondering where Ruche had gone after Irie took over as the head of the Etera Magic Guild, but it turns out she's an Eloth. But is this really the result of a proper vote? I wonder. And they actually got one right with Ruche. Chandra came and put out the fire, but didn't catch the Rakshasa. There were comments saying that Teo's bust size has shrunk significantly compared to Part 2. However, this is just how Teo is. If you look at Part 2, it only looked that way when she was wearing armor because of the armor. When she's not wearing it, look at episode 12 of Part 2, and imagine her wearing a coat in that state as well. Then surely those dots aren't all of them. Then it's a passageway open in the sky, so if someone who can't fly crosses over, they'll crash immediately. Okay. True, I guess. Yeah, the passageway is opened way up in the air instead of the passageway being opened like down at ground level. So if a Tarakashura who can't fly comes over, they're just gonna plummet. So 302 empathy. Really great chapter once again, though. I loved all three of these. I thought they were really great. So yeah, this arc is cooking so far. The tension's amazing. I can't wait for next week. And like I said, next week I will do 3 more. And I think this section might be 6 parts, in which case, that'll finish out the arc. But I'm not really going by that. So this week, I'd probably read another chapter or 2 if I could, but I don't think I should time-wise. But, if next week I want to read more than 3, I'm not going to let the end of the arc be the thing that stops me, if I want to continue on into the next one. But either way, I'll end things here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of these chapters, my thoughts and reaction to them. Subscribe for more Kubera, much more on the channel. Follow on, well, again, the muscle memory there. I guess if you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks or sharing around, it's appreciated. If you want to join down below to become a member, go to patreon.com/HakuofTheTubes, or link will be in the description to become a patron. It's appreciated. You'll help support the channel. You'll get your name at the end of videos, and you'll get One Piece Bingo a bit early. So thank you to people who are members and patrons. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Holly and Bertie Booster, Magical Girls, DD Ban and Maru, Cheriton student David Langstaff, Darrington student David Langstaff, Slayer candidates SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pater de Owl. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.